Mouse1 here. For those who don't know me, I'm an aspiring game dev working to prove that professional quality games can be made using beginner-friendly software such as Scratch. My main project, A Farmer's Life, is a top-down 2D farming simulator game inspired by Stardew Valley, and recently I've been going through the process of adding story to my game, with cutscenes for all of the characters. Last time I finished scripting the cutscenes, and now I'm starting to make them look a bit more interesting. For this, I want a visual style like the cutscenes from Stardew Valley, where you see the miniature characters walking around the locations in which the cutscenes are set, and to start on this process, I'm creating the backgrounds. I managed to get 4 done this week, and I thought I would break down the process and tell you the ideas I had for each design. I started with Bess's shop, starting with the walls and floors, which was easy because I already had a variety of different designs for the farmhouse that I could just copy in. And then it was the set dressing. I started with the area that you can see when you're actually on the shop screen, so the countertop and the shelves there behind. In the cutscene, there's a moment where Bessa comes in from another room, so I had to add a door for her to come through. And then I added a bunch of boxes of fresh produce to fill the space and to sell the idea that this is in fact a shop. I then moved on to Andy's hardware store. For this, I really wanted to sell the chaotic there's stuff everywhere vibe that you'd get from this sort of shop. If there's any empty wall space, I added some products there. If there's a gap on the floor, I added some of the workspaces you could purchase. I remember hearing something a long time ago now, that every item you place in a space should tell a tiny story. Who put it there? What do they use it for? Will they be using it again? The placement, does it tell us if they're a tidy person or a messy person? Is this space dull and practical, or is it bright and colourful? How old are they? What do they enjoy? For Andy, he's quite careless and disorganised, so I wanted the space to reflect this. I then moved on to Mia's blacksmithery. I added the anvil and forge that you can see in the background of the blacksmith page, and I added some coal and wood next to the forge, as it makes sense that you'd need something to stoke the fire. I added a bucket of water to cool the hot piece of apparatus she'd be working with, and I added tools along the back wall and carts full of metal ore for Mia to work with down one side. I wanted this place to feel very industrial. And finally, I completed the research lab. I used lots of blues for this to create a cool, sterile feel, and I added the counters and cabinets that you can see in the background of the lab screen. I added a workstation with a few beakers and the like on it, as well as a sheet of paper, presumably for notes about the experiment. And I also added some hazard signs, as lab safety is a key part of Derek's story. In the cutscenes, Derek mentions a yellow do not cross marking on the floor, so I had to add that, and I also added a caution symbol on the wall. But that's all I got done for this week, so thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you did. It lets me know that this is something you'd like to see more of. Join the Discord, link down below, and I will see you next week with another video. Bye!